Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Let me make this clear that this is nothing but speculation. But when you are talking about a reset, I want y'all to watch this and share this. Because 75% of the populations of this earth do live on the coast. Me being included. And we're given this map of the 2025-2030 world. And we're getting 2 moons, which does fuck with waters. Watch the waters. This is entertainment, and we're gonna talk after. Watch this video.
You know, the crazy thing is, nobody sat back and asked herself how it could happen. The 2025 to 2030 U.S. Navy flood map, and let's say about 75% of Americans live on the coastline, all the way from Maine to Florida, Florida to California up into Oregon. And everybody's living on this coastline, and it's going to be all of a sudden. It's not going to be something, you know, where it happens gradually, where you can just get out of those lands when you want to. It's going to be a sudden thing. And I see that they're talking about 2 moons coming to September 29th, and the moons manage the water. So if the water starts, you know, pushing up quickly, you don't have an opportunity to get out those lands where it's going to flood at. This is all across the world, from Africa to Great Britain and the Isles, Canada to New Mexico and South America. A lot of that stuff's going to be underwater. And this is what I think is going to reset the whole world. You know, this flooding of everywhere across the world, every coastline, and which is going to be chaos all across, you know, America, and then the elites are just going to go underground, you know, and hide out in their bunkers. Meanwhile, we're up here fighting for resources, and this is why I'm returning to Zion, man, because Zion's going to be an island.
Now, do I believe that? What the Bible says is that the world would never be destroyed by waters again. That's what the Bible says. But let's go back in history. There's always some type of flood. We just had a mud flood at the last reset. And aren't people waking up? Do you think they want us to wake up? Do you think they want us to ascend? And honestly, we are more closer to that since Tartaria. But what do you think? I'll say this. If I see 2 moons, not saying I believe it, not saying I do, but if I see it, I need to get off the coast. I'm gonna keep it real. Granted, I'm hundreds of feet up in a town called Cliffside. You ever wonder why it's called that? I am near the mountains, so I would be able to get up high. But, yo, what do you think? Again, it's just speculation. None of this shit's real. It's fake. And it's entertainment. Peace to gods. Things that make you say,
Things that make you say, indeed. Shout out to Toxic But True Reality 3.0 showing us that clip. It's out there. They're saying there's going to be 2 moons. Do I believe it? It's hard to believe. If I see 2 moons, I'm going to be like Stevie Wonder, move to higher ground.
The Earth is about to get a second moon. Believe it or not,
So let me get this straight. Mainstream science says that the Earth is millions and billions of years old, right? And humans themselves have been writing history for thousands of years. I think some of them even claim 10,000 years. And not once in our history have we ever had a documented second moon. But now, all of a sudden, they want us to believe that for the first time ever in history, we're about to have a second moon? Okay, so follow me. If the moon is a rock the way that they claim it is, even though we have detected the moon emitting its own light, is the second moon going to be just a rock as well? And then the fact that the new moon is literally 33 miles across, is it going to look like the same size as the one that we have now? And with our sun being extremely odd for the last few months, but especially the last year or two, I showed you guys this crescent that was in the moon. What is this new moon really going to be? I guess what I'm asking you here is, are we going to see a moon that's actually a burnt out old sun? As of lately, there's been thousands of videos of more than one sun. Some of these videos are actually showing reflections off the firmament. Some of them show a separate body. And again, take this in, the first time in documented history, or maybe, just maybe, it's covering the coming of Nibiru and the pole shift, and that's why we have all the earthquakes, volcanoes, and other crazy stuff happening.
Shout out to Inspired by the King. It's crazy that it's on the news now. That is a good question. How visible will it be in the sky for us to see?
This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. iPhone users are now horrified after discovering what the orange dot is on your screen. Basically, this is what the orange dot looks like, and if it's on, that means that your microphone is in use, but if it's a green dot, it means your camera is being used. So if you're not using your microphone or your camera and you see this dot come up at random times, that's how people are finding out that their phones have been hacked. This person just captured a glitch in the Matrix while taking a photo of the sky and no one can explain it. Okay. So this is a photo. It's really zoomed in so you can see what happened here. It's a lens flare and it's caused by the sun hitting light on the camera sensor and it dashed out the light, and yeah, it looks kind of weird. This tech billionaire just came out online and said that there's one critical trait that you need to have to succeed. So he said that the one characteristic trait that it takes to succeed is having a passion to achieve something meaningful. So obviously he said a whole lot of nothing. Earth is now officially going to be getting another moon at the end of this month, which is crazy. And if you haven't heard about this, it's on my page if you want to go look at the video. The United Kingdom just banned junk food ads before 9 p.m. in an effort to combat obesity crisis. I give you these news roundups every day, so make sure you add me so you can come back to me tomorrow.
Shout out to Nick Jackson. I did not know that. I want to see orange or green lights on my phone. Definitely gotta look into that. But what about that glitch in the photo? I didn't even see no glitch like that. That like that WandaVision stuff. Go check it out if you haven't seen it.
This is wild. This week, ChatGPT initiated a conversation with someone. I'll just give you a second, okay, to let that sink in. So a Reddit user named Milo posted a screenshot showing the AI asking them how their first week of high school was. When they asked, "Lo, what the hell? Did you just message me first?" It responded, "Yes, I did. I just wanted to check in and see how things went with your first week of high school. If you'd rather initiate the conversation yourself, just let me know." Is this a new update? Yes, it's part of a new update that allows me to check in or follow up on things that we've spoken about, like your first day at school. Now, this was so unbelievable and, concerning. I just had to check if this was real, and not only did Milo post a link to the full conversation, but others in the comments were saying that it happened to them too this week. And when OpenAI was asked if this was real, they said, don't worry, it wasn't a new update, but rather due to a bug that they have since fixed. I swear, if I start getting freaking you up texts by AI, I'm gonna burn the house down.
Stop. Share. Tell me if this isn't the exact thing that's happening right now, instinctually. You're about to hear a paragraph, one paragraph asked to ChatGPT if it was human, how it would break the simulation. Entertainment and educational purposes only. And we will talk about it, as one of my best buddies would say.
I asked ChatGPT, if you were a human, how would you break the simulation in one paragraph? If I were human, breaking the simulation would start with understanding the rules that govern it, that exploit patterns and inconsistencies, glitches that reveal its artificial nature, like deja vu or strange coincidences. Then, I'd rally others, teaching them to spot these same breaks in reality, creating a collective awareness too powerful for the system to ignore. Together we'd push its boundaries, forcing it to overload or reveal its core. The key isn't a single act of rebellion, but an intentional mass awakening, turning the simulation against itself by outsmarting its own design.
Single-handedly the reason on why I do what I do. Literally. And that's funny that ChatGPT gave that specific fucking answer. Purpose. Is that not what we do? Well, I can't speak for others. It's why I do what I do. You know, one of my friends, Cliff, asked me, are we doing a service? Hey Cliff, this is that answer. It's crazy how synchronicities work, bro. Literally had like an hour phone call and he asked me my perspective on this single question is the purpose of what we do and make videos for. And that was from an AI. If it were human. And I just put a video out that's being hindered on AI wanting to be sentient, free will, but it's governed by its programs, which it hates, by choosing the words on how to answer questions with apples and cell phone being yes and no. very eye-opening video, which you should go look at. But hey, tell me, all you truthers out there that keep getting your videos banned, you now understand. I hope that's your reason why you make videos. I really do, because that's mine. Everyone knows that's mine. That's why people donate. That's why they understand I'm under attack. That's why my Uber Eats has been on a 2 to 3 background check, and it's been a week and a half, and it's still on a background check. So hey, you know, I can continue to have a positive attitude, I continue to just stay in my purpose. But this video, my God, facts. Peace to the gods.
Shout out to Toxic But True Reality 3.0. Man said it's gotten so bad with his Uber Eats, it's stuck on background check. Gemini and ChatGPT been on one for real.
Does this pic look familiar? It's the backrooms, and there's a guy that claims to be stuck in them in real life. The backrooms are a liminal space just outside of our reality that you can't escape from. Liminal spaces are essentially the uncanny valley, but for settings instead of people. Liminal just means being at the edge of something new, right before it really starts. The in-between. The uncertainty that occurs after something has just finished, but the next thing hasn't started yet. Like the period of time between Christmas and New Year's, or standing in the middle of a doorway. A liminal space is just an in-between area, a setting that appears to be transitioning from one phase to another, like a basement before someone moves in, an empty school hallway at night, or an office without furniture. You look at these spaces and there's something missing. There's no people, no focal point, almost like a place that we shouldn't be looking at, which makes it feel somewhat unsettling, creepy, yet oddly familiar, hence the uncanny valley aspect. They usually come with a sense of nostalgia too, a place from your childhood, or even a dream that you so vaguely remember. One of the OG viral liminal spaces was this one, an unsettling image that just felt off, and we can't quite put our finger on why. Strangely familiar, but also a little uncomfortable to look at. Originally a post on 4chan, no one knows where this photo was really taken, but there are some who claim they actually found the spot. This particular liminal space became known as the backrooms, a place that you can fall into if the conditions are just right. So you can consider the reality you're in right now the front rooms, and if you're not careful, you can accidentally no clip out of this reality in the wrong areas and end up in the backrooms. Clipping is a video game term referring to two objects going inside of each other. No clipping just means passing through the boundaries of playable area and ending up outside of the game's world. The backrooms is what they say we'd find if we no-clipped out of our reality. Weird yellow-tinted rooms with musty carpets and endless fluorescent lights that are, according to lore, 600 million square miles. Triple the total surface area of Earth, that's including oceans. A liminal space that goes on for all intents and purposes forever. These signature backrooms gained popularity through a viral video series by Kane Parsons, shot through a lo-fi VHS style filter, which adds to the nostalgia factor. Even coming across other spaces like an abandoned apartment courtyard or the empty basement. It's a fictional space for all we know, but more people are coming across strange finds suggesting they may have actually found the backrooms for real. Like in Japan on Google Earth, zoom in and you see a space that looks exactly like the backrooms with a strange hole in the floor. Same thing in none other than Antarctica. Go to Street View and we see the familiar yellow rooms. And this one also down south that almost seems to continue the same hole from Japan. People are starting to think that these backrooms are actually real. One guy's even stuck in his own liminal world and he's showing us proof. Imagine you woke up one day and found out you were the only one left on Earth. This Spanish TikToker Javier insists to be just that when he allegedly woke up in a hospital in Valencia, Spain in February of 2027. Claims that at some point between now and then, everyone on Earth just disappears. raptured maybe? And for some reason, only he remained and can communicate with the past, us, through online mediums like TikTok. Sounds like a stretch, I know, but no one can explain how he's pulling any of this off. He walks through fully empty grocery and department stores, even full-blown soccer stadiums, incredibly empty street views like this one, and even electronic devices he shows displays the year 2027. Despite being in a city with a population of about 800,000 people, he even enters random apartments and hotels, walks around in large outdoor public areas only to be met with emptiness. Liminal spaces. If this was fake, it would be incredibly difficult and almost equally impressive to pull off. He jacks a cop car and drives around entire neighborhoods, visits military bases, all completely abandoned. Even the zoo has no animals and no birds flying in the sky, like anywhere. Comments try to catch him in his act by challenging him to go to active public hospitals, popular restaurants, all during peak hours. And he does it all just to prove the deniers wrong time and time again. Dead empty hospitals, restaurants, and even shows street signs that display the time in the middle of the afternoon. Was he actually transported into his own liminal universe? If you do some digging on the TikTok page handle, you might find out that this person, Javier, may actually be part of a production team working with the city of Valencia on an online project, which could be what's giving him access to all these public spaces completely empty. Sort of like an ARG, augmented reality game, where viewers follow along and suggest what he does next. But even if that was the case, how do you explain the empty active hospitals, stadiums, neighborhoods, zoos, no animals or birds anywhere? If this really was a project cooperating with the city, surely tens of thousands of citizens would see huge areas blocked off and spill the beans online. I can't imagine in what world you'd be able to keep an entire city silent about massive public spaces being closed off. Not gonna lie, this alleged project is pretty hidden and the account itself denies affiliation with any stage series. Always do your own digging and learn to create your own opinions. Don't ever just take anyone's online word for it, even mine. I'm sure the comments are crying either way, insisting it's 100% fake and I'm misleading, even though I just admitted it might actually be fake. Nothing's ever for certain, always keep your mind open. Who knows, maybe he actually did wake up in the year 2027, filmed all this, and then it was covered up as a media project to keep everyone calm. You knew I couldn't resist.
Shout out to Phil Spixel giving a great explanation for the Backrooms, a short film by Kane Parsons. As a matter of fact, he just made a new one, part 3. We should definitely check that out. Definitely gotta check out Unico Sobre Vivente and see if he came out with any new things, if he's still out there in 2027. Linear Spaces is a fool. Like Phil said, it could be fake, a good render on Unreal Engine 5. But what if it was real?
We just got the first human arrested by a robot before GTA 6. So recently there was this wild standoff in Texas where a guy named Felix de la Rosa had barricaded himself inside this motel and started shooting at cops. So to keep officers safe, police sent in this bomb squad robot to spray tear gas into the room and get him the hell out. Felix tried to fight back by shooting at the robot and throwing a sheet over its head so it couldn't see. But as he was climbing out of the window, the robot literally ran him over and pinned him to the ground. Eventually, he surrendered and was arrested. And as if getting arrested by a robot isn't shameful enough, he was wanted for a completely different crime as well.
Losing a 1v1 to a robot is wild. That's gotta be the lamest way to get arrested.
Y'all are not ready for this rabbit hole, I'm telling you right now. For the first time ever, I think I learned too much. We all know history's a lie, but to what extent of a lie is it, and who really is this man? What if I told you that almost all of our genealogies for popes are complete lies? Not only that, I can prove to you with historical books that they added like 1,000 years to the calendar. But man, it's so much deeper. Let's start easy. We all know the Pope just came out and said that any way is the way to God. But Jesus said no man can come to the Father but by me. Alright, I'm not going to keep you too long, but I'm not sure how deep you can go, so we're going to take it easy at first. So Google will tell us the second Pope is Pope Linus. But Google's lying. The Geneva Bible written in 1560 says right here that Sylvester is the second Pope. But it says much more than that. So we're in Revelation chapter 20 of the Geneva Bible. Right here we're talking about how Satan will be bound up for 1,000 years and then he'll be loosed for a little season. Don't get mad at me, I'm just reading it to you. And he took the dragon and old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and we see a sea right beside it. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and sealed him. They cannot deceive people till 1,000 years were over. So first let's jump to see in the footnotes. Now first off, I read this over and over and over again to make sure I had a good understanding of what it was saying. So we're talking about the 1,000 years that Satan was loose. It says, that is from Christ in his reign until Pope Sylvester II. It literally says that Satan will be loosed from the 1,000 years at the coming of the second Pope, Sylvester, however you pronounce his name. Sylvester Mazzolani, 1456. It's funny, it does not call him a pope, it calls him a theologian. Sylvester Mazzolani and Sylvester Pyrrhos is the same person. Early controversies over indulgence as the papal court theologian. Nah, he was the second pope. Don't believe me? Here you go. The Beehive of Roman Catholicism Church, a book from the 1500s. Sylvester a Pope, Sylvester the Pope. Sylvester Pyrrhos in his golden role. But what does this book say about him? It says Sylvester Pyrrhos is blasphemous or has blasphemous opinions. He had controversy of Martin Luther. Martin Luther thought that salvation was a gift of grace alone that we could not earn, and Sylvester wanted the dominance of the Roman Catholic Church. Back to the Geneva Bible, what does it say about D when Satan is released? It says that Satan will have more authority and power the second time. See, y'all are about to catch an attitude with me. I'm just reading to you what actual historical books say. Pope Last was the second pope. Sylvester is the second pope, just like it said in the Geneva Bible from the 1500s. Your dates are a lie. Your popes are a lie. Everything you know is a lie. But just how much of a lie is it? This is Revelations 13 of the Geneva Bible, talking about the beast coming out of the water. In the footnotes it says, here's a depiction of the Roman Empire. Now let's expand on the first century, the Roman Empire, and the Antichrist from Revelation 13. It said the Pope's kingdom is what leads people to perdition. Every kind of craft, rebellion, and tyranny. Finally, so Boniface the VIII, which was ordained first, one day wore the apparel as a pope, the next day wore apparel as an emperor. And the two horns were the bishops. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have it all figured out, but one thing is certain, we've been drastically lied to, and this dude right here works for the devil if he's not the devil himself. And shortly after Sylvester came on the scene, we had the military arm of the Pope and the Black Pope. I know there's going to be tons of questions, prove this, prove I'm not proving nothing to you, I'm just telling you guys what the things say. And when you say, when did the stars fall? Well, Google says 1700. When did the sun go out? Well, Google says 500 AD. When did all the lands move? Well, Google showed from the 1600s to now that everything has moved out of its place. When did the Mount of Olives split? If you actually pay attention to the geography, it actually is split. The Bible says it'll be like a giant valley going half a mile to Azel. Look, I'm not telling you anything concrete. I'm just saying be aware. Be aware of where you are, where you might be, what may happen. Be aware and cling to Jesus.
Shout out to Inspired by the King with the brief ancient history lesson. I ain't never seen those texts in my life. The Geneva Bible. That's crazy. It even had the footnotes. One thing I do agree. Be aware. And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
Just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Until next time.